It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go. Wednesday show, September 6, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com if you're watching live. However you are watching, maybe you're sitting there on your couch watching YouTube. Hell yes, we say hello, everybody. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon, Ryan Ermanni, as well as everybody in here. Ryan, I saw you had half of a sub over there before the show started, which means I believe Maz had the other half of that sub before the show started. I, too, had half of a sub for lunch. Had the Bellas. I see you guys had Jimmy John's. Shout out to my boy Anthony Tomey.
That's where I got it.
Oh, that's my guy. That's our guy right here, Anthony Tomey,
sir.
also born in Detroit. But I had the Bellas. Sorry, Anthony. That damn sub was so good.
Who had the other half is what I want to know.
It is waiting for me.
Oh.
It is currently waiting for me back at home. But I had half that sub. Maz, Ryan, I fell asleep. And woke up. I didn't know what time it was. So I'm glad I made it to work on time.
You know what time it is.
Yes, it's time to talk about that sub. It was so good.
It's that kind of weather out there.
Me and Maz, I think that's what it was too. I think it was the sub mixed in with the rain and the gloom.
Yep.
Tom Mazaway, how you doing today?
I'm good, fellas. I got caught in the rain, but not as bad as Parker did. Parker, man. I saw him. He looked like a wet rag.
What's happening here?
What happened?
What's happening here in Birmingham? They don't even let you park in the garage anymore?
I pull into the garage because there's no spots out front. They only save them for you, of course. So I'm pulling in the garage, and it tells me, sorry, we're full. Only season passes can come in.
Right.
And I'm looking, and it says there's 33 spots left. So I had to back out. And I wound up parking where I usually do, and I got caught. Not as bad as Parker though. And JB's back from vacation.
JB, woo!
Yeah, from vacation.
Yeah, JB.
What's up, everybody?
Sick yesterday, bro. JB wasn't feeling good yesterday, and Braylon insists he was at the club. That's cap.
I'm wearing this for JB. JB, that's cap.
JB's looking like $1 million today.
Where were you at yesterday?
I was laid up at home watching you guys on the big screen TV.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
Yeah, you was watching the big screen TV, all right, but it wasn't at home. Check his pocket for one.
Hey, here's a dumb question.
Check his pocket for one.
When you're sitting at home watching Woodward Sports on YouTube, and I've done this, when I've been off. I was off last week for something.
A lot, yeah.
And I'm watching you guys on my couch.
No, you're not.
I gotta flip. I didn't watch the whole 2 hours, but I did flip.
I don't blame you.
No,
I'm messing with you.
There's no way you could hit the like button.
Oh, at home?
If you're watching on your TV, is there?
You gotta take.
You can?
Yeah.
You gotta take the remote and go up to the settings. Yeah,
you have to scroll down, and when you see the
little toggle button.
the timeline, then right below it's like the thumb.
Oh, I never knew that.
Hey, just scroll down, right?
Oh my gosh, I never knew that.
You telling on yourself.
Your TV is like your computer screen.
Really?
I think you telling on yourself.
Oh my gosh.
You really weren't watching.
No, I every time I try to hit the like button, I almost tune in just to give you the like.
I liked you all my vacation week. I liked you every single day.
I thought you said you loved us, man.
Well, I do love you, but sometimes it's like if I'm ever off from Fox 2, I'm not watching the news channel.
This is very true. I get that.
I'm just not watching.
When you're
the
away,
news.
you got to be away.
Without question.
So you can come back fresh.
Oh, speaking of fresh, I got my haircut today, if you may notice. My girl Becca tightened me up a little bit over here.
Special day for him.
My goodness. Treats me like a freaking king here at Lady James.
Is there a special occasion as to why the great Ryan Ermanni looks so good today?
Today is my wedding anniversary.
There it is.
Yes. 9 years with
nine wonderful years.
9 wonderful years with my beautiful bride Nicole.
What's been the highlight of those 9 years?
Would she say the same?
I think so.
Okay, good.
Probably our 2 beautiful children.
Of course.
There you go. Lydia.
Who somehow like their mother better than they like me.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Well, that's because you're not home enough.
Yeah, probably.
You're like the stranger that's fun from time to time.
Right, that's why when Dad comes home at 5 o'clock, you get 1 hour. You get 1 hour. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to bed now.
You do take Lukey to Big Boy, though.
I do. We get the hot fudge ice cream cream puff or whatever that thing is.
Where you going to dinner tonight?
We're going to Joe Muir's tonight.
Oh, that's the best.
We're going to Joe Muir's
I go
tonight
twice
downtown.
a year.
Yep.
Gotta
Going to
take
Joe
that over
Muir's.
prime and proper, huh?
Absolutely. Parker, let's get a just visual on you. Have you dried off real quick?
So I'm a lot better than what I was
That's
walking in. I looked like I walked out of a shower is pretty much what it looked like. I was half dry, half wet. Front of me was all wet. Back of it was just a mess. I looked like I had a rough day walking in.
Oh, you're doing good though, man.
Hanging
Well,
in there.
you're locked and loaded and ready to go, and so is the team with Woodward bets. Football season fast approaching, making a money-making season. Need a lock of the week, some best bets. How about a value play? Booner has you covered. Woodward bets weekends all season long. Saturdays at 11, Sundays at 11:30. Booner and friends. Woodward bets on Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Speaking of bets, that Lions line has now come down a full 2 points, down to 4.5. That thing hadn't moved for weeks, months, really.
Yep.
And now, Braylon, it's down to Chiefs minus 4.5. And I think, look, I don't know if Travis Kelce will play. I think we assume he will not play, and even if he does play, he's not going to be 100%. We do know that Chris Jones is not going to play.
He says he just wants a raise. That's his last quote. I just want a raise.
And God bless him. You know, honestly, the career of an NFL player is so short. Yeah. If you and Nick Bosa is no different. God bless him. If you have the ability to hold out and get the money that you believe you deserve, I'm all for it, because the team will cut you in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And for Kansas City, they've won their world championships. They have their Super Bowls, multiple. And now it's about their great players, well, in this case, Chris Jones, getting his money. I have no problem with that, and I'm not just saying that because he's not going to be in for the Lions, and I don't want him to play on Thursday either. I fully agree with him. If you believe in life that you can go get more money than where you are, go for it. By all means.
I think not only
seriously.
I think not only if you believe that you can get more money, I think if you see that you have proof, you have physical evidence, you have data that suggests, Ryan, that backs what you're saying, to say you deserve a raise, to say that you deserve more, when you have 2 Super Bowl championships, when you have a second place finish, Defensive Player of the Year, when you have 3 All-Pro finishes, when you have that, you start to back that up, it's like, well, you guys won Super Bowls with me as well, so I do agree on that. JB, it's kind of funny. It's like when the Ultimate Warrior held Vince hostage, say, you know, I ain't wrestling tonight unless you pay me this X amount of money, and they did. But that's not going to be the case with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they're locked in at what they believe Chris Jones should get, and he's not going to get a penny more as of right now. So, go ahead.
I was just going to say, not every player has the leverage that Nick Bosa and Chris Jones have.
Yeah.
Because there are probably 25 teams in the NFL that will pay Nick Bosa and or Chris Jones whatever they want. Why do you think the running backs have come back and played at their prices? They've come back and played.
No leverage.
Zero
leverage.
If you have zero leverage, you just kind of got to take what you can get, Maz. If you have leverage, then you can kind of do whatever you want.
Yep.
And that's just a lesson in life.
Back in the day, the running backs had the leverage. They don't have it right now. But I think Chris Jones will get his money. I think Nick Bosa will get his money as well. I mean, they're not the same team without those guys. Let's face it. 4.5 points. I don't like that number. I wish it was 5.5, because then I would have been jumping all over that Lions, because that's the number that's got the upset written all over it. But 4.5, man, Chiefs only 4.5 favored at home. That's pretty low.
Nick Bosa will get his money. That's because he's an outside defensive lineman. He is a DN. He comes off the edge. He is an edge rusher. His job is to get to the quarterback. Chris Jones, man, I'm not so sure. And I'm not so sure it's just because it's him holding the team hostage. Because if he does that this year, Ryan Ermanni, when he does it with Chris Jones, he's under contract. He says, you know, I'm holding out for a year. Or I'm holding out for a game until you guys pay me. What's to stop Nick Bolton next year? What's to stop Nick Bolton from holding out, saying, I outplayed my rookie deal, this, that, and third. They're trying to set that precedent so that they can't have players in the future hold them hostage. It's going to be tough, though, because when you pay one guy and you pay another guy, you're paying everybody on offense and you're not paying the defensive guys. Then you get the defensive guys that kind of lean in with Chris Jones, and that's going to be the hard part.
And I mentioned this yesterday, and I'll probably mention it tomorrow as well. For the Detroit Lions, it's not. And for any other team in the National Football League, it's not who you play, it's when you play them. That's just sports. I mean, look at the Tigers and Yankees. The Yankees lost, 9 games in a row. They were miserable to play against, and then all of a sudden they're Tigers play them, and they look like they're the
best team.
28 Yankees or 26 Yankees.
And they beat them again last night.
5-1, right?
Yeah.
It's not who you play, it is when you play them. And I don't think there is a better day to play now, you might lose the football game, and that would be fine. There's no shame in losing to the Kansas City Chiefs. But remember all offseason when the schedule was coming out, don't you want to play Kansas City in Germany because you think you got a better shot at them in Germany than at Arrowhead? And, we were kind of on that track. And now you look at it without Jones, without Kelsey, and, breaking in. Well, I guess Matt Nagy is a new coordinator, but he was the quarterback's coach, so there's probably not much of a break-in. But I do believe this is the right time to play the Chiefs. And, Braylon, you tweeted it out today.
Yeah, Matt Nagy is the guy that's pretty much been working with Pat Mahomes the last couple of years. So he's the guy that was in there. So he's the guy that Pat's comfortable with. So he'll be fine with that. But, I got so hung up on Bosa and Chris Jones talking about their money that I really didn't talk about the line, the 4.5 line. I thought as soon as we said it yesterday, it was like, that line's going down. That line's going to go down. And it didn't move much when Chris Jones wasn't going to play. But now you had the fact that Chris Jones isn't going to play. Now you had the fact that Travis Kelce is injured. Now he will play in the game. But Travis Kelce is going to play. He has a bone bruise. He will play. It's about how much he can tough it out. But the problem is that Travis Kelce is used to putting those knees to the ground. It's wiggle like playing basketball. That's how he gets open a lot. He's a shifty guy. And when he also catches the ball, Travis Kelce isn't the tight end that catches and goes down. He's a tight end that catches and he finds the zone, and that's not going to be able to happen. So you definitely are going to see him not be at his strongest, and you're going to see the Lions take advantage of that, and that's why that point line is going down. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if by the time this game happens, the Lions down to 2.5.
And not only that, Bray, but you tweeted out today, and we can we could talk about this next. And I'm with you.
I mean it.
I think the Lions could blow out Kansas City.
Yeah. And that's why I'm happy that I get to do my predictions today. The more information you have, I think they can blow them out. And I don't think it's close. And remember when we talked about the Chris Jones aspect? Even before Travis Kelce, we talked about Chris Jones. I told you guys, if Chris Jones doesn't play, they won't get the same push at the point of attack. What means the line will dominate their D-line. You dominate their defensive line, that means you get guards, tackles getting up to the second level. It makes it harder for Nick Bolton. It makes it much harder for the secondary. It makes it harder on them. You sustain drives. You stay on the field longer. That keeps who off the field? Keeps Patrick Mahomes off the field. Now you add to the fact that he doesn't have the guy. And I went back to look at some film. I went back to look at some stats to see how was Patrick Mahomes when Travis Kelce wasn't in the lineup. And you know what? I couldn't find any. Travis Kelce's never not been in the lineup since Patrick Mahomes has been in the NFL as a starting quarterback. So you look at that. He does not have his crutch, does not have his guy. Kadarius Toney's coming off injury. Is Valdez-Scantling still the guy he was with Green?
Sky Moore.
It's Sky Moore. Is he even going to be the starter as he moves? And the running back situation with Pacheco and McKinnon. We talked about how it was last year, but they overcame it because you had Travis Kelce, because you had Patrick Mahomes. Not having Travis Kelce, not having his right arm, it's going to be a tough day for 15 at the office. And I'm saying the Lions might be just ready for an ass whooping.
Guys, let me set up the show for you. We are going to go through Braylon's season predictions for the Detroit Lions, the NFC, the AFC seeds, AFC, NFC championship, his Super Bowl picks. We're going to do that. We will also head out to Kansas City and talk with Chiefs beat reporter from the Kansas City Star, Jesse Newell. We'll talk to him, top of hour number 2. And also, I think this is really interesting. It is very rare for the owner of an NFL team or any owner of a professional sports team, unless you're Dallas, really.
I was just about to say, unless Jerry, he talks every day.
To sit down one-on-one and talk to a local reporter, and that's exactly what Sheila Hamp did with Dan Miller. We're going to play that interview for you next and see what you think. This is an owner that completely changed the course of the franchise in just 3 years. She did that, and you'll hear from her in her own words. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Mark White.
When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That is exactly what Mark White and Associates offers. It's called their minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. That number again, 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Experience the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products with Dispo Dispensary. That's right. 12 locations around the state. They are the local plug. 21 and up, rec only. But it doesn't matter because they got the best cannabis flower. However you consume your cannabis, man, it is the deal. We usually go out to Hazel Park. We usually go out to Romeo. But in 2 weeks, that's right. Well, not this week, but next week, we will be at Whitmore Lake, the new opening right by Ann Arbor. So come on down. Check us out. We'll be in there having a good time. Dispo, your local plug.
Guys, welcome back. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button for us. Let's see if we can get to over 100 likes by the end of this segment. Guys, it's very rare that an NFL owner sits down one-on-one with a reporter, especially a local reporter, and that's exactly what Sheila Hamp did with Dan Miller. Yesterday, last night, it aired on Fox 2, and I was leaning this way, and I went into the chat and asked how people wanted us to do this. So we're gonna it's a 10-minute interview. Okay. But I think I think everybody in the chat has kind of agreed. Let's play a little bit, react to it. Play a little bit, react to it, and we'll break it up that way.
There you go.
We'll break it up that way. I hope you guys enjoy it. I just think it's important to hear from her because she has really changed the course of this franchise, and I think she needs a lot of credit for it. And I just want to play it in her own words because we have this available to us, and we'll play it. Here is Dan Miller's Sheila Hamp.
Lions
like
fans.
our fans, I'm so excited. The support's been amazing. But, you know, the thing is that it's very exciting, but it's what we've been working towards for the last couple of years. And, you know, we've got a really good team and terrific coaching staff, and I think we're ready.
All of that is part of what has happened, and you can't really discuss where you are without going back to what you did. So let me take you back.
Okay.
Previous regime is let go. You are there with Rod Wood, Mike Disner, ultimately Chris Spielman. And you're not just hiring people, you're deciding what you want to be as an organization and what your guiding principles will be. What was that process like and where did you land?
When I first got this position, I called a very good friend of mine that I respect a lot, that I went to college with. He ran a multinational company. And, you know, I just said to him, and I always loved his leadership style and kind of how he went about things. And I said, you know, if you were me, how would you think about this job? And he said, well, the first thing you need to do is define your noble cause. And once you've done that and you get a few people to buy in with you, everything will fall into place. So I thought, okay. So my noble cause, after a lot of thought, was the city of Detroit, the fans, the state, everybody who's supported the Lions for so many years, and how can we bring a winner? And so then my first call, was to Chris Spielman, and asked him if he would be interested in coming and helping this thought, and also digging into the organization a bit, realized we needed a culture shift, and Chris was intrigued by that thought. And so when Chris came on board, and he and Rod and Mike Disner and I got together for hours before we even began interviewing, we started to talk. We talked about what are we looking for in our new leadership. And the first thing was leadership. The second thing was culture. And I think, when we hired Brad and Dan, we got the people we were looking for.
Lions fans. A couple of important things there. I want to react to it. When she took over and got rid of the Quinn-Tricia era.
Oh.
And now she's got this situation on her hands.
Yeah.
She's the owner of a football team. She knows the history. She's been around her whole life. She needs a coach, a general manager, and she needs to remove the stink out of the building. What do you do? I love that she called somebody outside of sports and looked at it essentially like a business organization. What do you need for a successful organization? You have to have a cause. You have to, in this case, a noble cause.
Right.
What is the direction you want to go? What culture do you want to instill? And then your other call is to Chris Spielman. For anybody in life, realize what you don't know. And it takes somebody, I think, who's very smart and very brave to understand what they don't know and go get help in those areas. And she did that.
That's why a lot of times in movies, and this is almost seems like movie cinematic kind of situation. In movies, you'll see the guy that wants to be the king or the person that wants to be in power in the movie, they tend to go the other way. They go with the individual that doesn't want the power. They go with the one that has to become in power. And that's kind of what I see in this situation. Everybody feels like they know what they're doing when they take over ownership, whether it was her brother, whether it was her father, whether it was whoever. They feel like this is the way, this is the post, this is how you win games, I want to win games, this is what we're going to do. She's smart enough to take a step back and say, hasn't worked, why hasn't it worked? Let me reach outside, like you said. And the coolest thing is the culture shift. The culture shift. Understanding that not only are you trying to win games, are you trying to get into the playoffs, are you trying to get your team and your fan base to where they want to be, but how do you get there? You got to shift the culture. You got to understand what has been so bad for so many years, and that's what they did. They went to the culture shift first, and then they started creating the win. The culture shift is the main thing that I heard. It's the culture shift. The stink of the Lions past and all that, man. And she really did a great job of that. That's why I'm glad we're listening to this piece, because you can really get a sense and a feel for how she's been able to turn it around the last 3 years. The thought that's gone into it.
100%.
Yeah. This is a woman that grew up wanting to be in the football game. I remember reading when she first got when she was taken over, when she took over from Martha. She said she'd be waiting around and watching her dad and watching her brother and wondering, I can do this as well. But she was a girl. She was a woman. And let's face it, back in the old days, they didn't look at a woman that you're going to be able to run a football team.
Shoot, even now.
Right. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. So this is a woman that wanted to do it since she was a little girl. So now she has an opportunity to do it. I don't even know if she really needed to reach out to someone in the business world, because when you take over this team and this stink, and just know that the team is a non-entity, no one talks about you. You're so bad. You're the worst franchise in all of sports. All of sports. I'm not even counting the Clippers. The Clippers were in Buffalo before they've been in L.A. This is the Detroit Lions, who haven't won a championship since 1957. One playoff win since then. There's no team, none, that could compete with that kind of mediocrity. I didn't know she had to reach out to a business partner to know, my goal is to freaking be a real team. And to reach out to a Chris Spielman would have been my first guy to reach out to as well. I love Chris. Always loved him. Always looked up to him, even though I'm older than him. Looked up to him as a football player. One of my favorites of all time. For her to bring him in, and then the way they did it, they bring Dan Campbell in first, and then they bring Brad Holmes
and
in.
that's what they're going to address next, Maz. Woodward Sports is expanding its daily lineup beginning tonight. Booner and Broder, beginning last night, I should say. They started in style, baby. Booner and Broder pair up for Woodward nights from 8 to 10. Two of Detroit's up-and-coming sports personalities for the hottest takes, the best entertainment. Join them Monday through Friday. They started last night. They sound great. Booner and Broder, catch them on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel. More from Dan Miller and Sheila Hamp here. This is exactly kind of that, Maz, bringing in Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes.
You know, when we hired Brad and Dan, we got the people we were looking for.
You know, one of my favorite moments with you was when I heard you say, we can't hide from our past. And I think what you're saying there is you had to have an understanding of what had happened before you could move forward. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes. And you know, I had the privilege and honor of working with my mother for 6 years. Well, she was the principal owner, and I learned a lot with her. You know, she was sort of had to pioneer her way through a lot of things, and I saw many, many wonderful things she did, and many, many things that, you know, maybe she and I would have thought about differently, you know, had I had this perspective I have now. So yes, I look back to look forward.
Your head coach has already told us what a competitor you are. When you have heard criticism for years of the ownership of this team, and then you get your chance to do it your way, is there a part of you that says, I'm going to show people, and that it becomes a personal challenge?
A little bit, but you know, I have to say my dad was a competitor too, for sure. He was a fabulous athlete, and he wanted nothing more than a winner. But you know, the game changed, the whole landscape of the NFL changed dramatically from the time he bought the team till now. And so, yes, I am a competitive person. I really hate to lose. I think I said that a million times in my first interview, and it's true. But yes, I'm, you know, very excited and thrilled to be able to do things my way. But it's been a building block really from the past.
So the plan was to tear it down completely. And I just wonder for you, was that daunting thinking about how long that might take? And are you surprised at how quickly you've been able to get back? You look at this roster now, it is well respected, and people have expectations for you now.
Absolutely. Well, when I think all the way back, when we didn't have a general manager, we didn't have a coach, and then our quarterback decides he wants to be traded, it was, you know, okay, I guess we can do this.
Welcome to the job.
This is really ground zero. But in a way, it was a great opportunity to really start over. And, you know, and as I say, we worked very hard. As you know, we interviewed 12 candidates for general manager, 8 for head coach. And when we found Brad and Dan, you know, and all 4 of us agreed these were our guys, that was something. And we were hoping that they would work well together, which of course has worked out beautifully. I mean, a bit of an arranged marriage for sure, but so you never really know, but we were pretty sure this was going to work, and they work so well together. It's just actually a joy to watch them. And you know, we've had our ups and downs, obviously, and we did start from ground zero, and you know, building a team is not linear. It's, you're going to have ups and downs, and as you know,
I think that's so important, and it was probably one of the most unconventional things, you know, when you think about a culture shift, really, Braylon. We talked about it all the time. Dan Campbell was hired first, then Brad Holmes came. How is this thing gonna work? And in order for, you got to remove egos from that. Yeah. And once you can do that, that's when you can have a winning culture be built.
Yeah, 100%. You know, usually the GM hires the coach, but that way the GM kind of feels responsible for the coach. That way it kind of, you know, puts the GM over here, and when the coach can get fired, hiring the head coach first and then the GM. They're both individual intellectual properties, and you guys work together. The last thing she said that I love was the ground zero movement. Like the ground zero, right when she takes over, Matt Stafford asks for a change, and she's like, "Oh, like, damn, this is real." But then that's kind of what, you know, it says to win, got to have a little luck. And Matt Stafford asking to be changed, she's like, you know what, now we really can do a culture shift. Now we can, you know what, we can shift this whole thing out. So you got to have a little luck, but you got to have someone who pays attention. And she's definitely paying attention.
Maz, I want you to react to that. Coming up next, more from Sheila Hamp. Coming up next. But first, the message from Planet Fitness.
Yes, Planet Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes in a 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. And yes, they are still just $10 a month.
$10.
Yes, only $10.
Only $10?
Only $10. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or check them out online at planetfitness.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Are you a diehard college football fan? Well, it's your lucky day. Join special WSN guests like Spencer Raxter, Flannel Sam, and more every Saturday. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Saturdays and tune in live from 8:30 to 10 a.m.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you're going to be able to play golf like a celebrity. Make sure you stop into any Randy Wise dealership and keep it right here on Woodward Sports for more of the details. Make the wise choice and pay attention to Woodward Sports for more on how you can golf like a celebrity.
Woodward Sports Network. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. Let's get to over 150 likes by the end of this segment. Subscribe to Woodward Sports. Coming up on 48,000 subscribers. Less than 200 subscribers away from that milestone, 48,000. Tom Mazaway, did you want to react at all to the arranged marriage, as Sheila Hamp calls it?
Well, first of all, I knew I was going to like Sheila Hamp as an owner when that picture, that viral video, came out with her hands over her head, over her eyes, like this.
Yep.
Lions fans.
That to me made it feel that she was one of us. Yes, a lot richer than one of us, but still one of us, embarrassed about the product that her team is showing on the field. And I forgot what game that was and how bad it was and what made her cover her face. I'm sure someone in the chat will remind me. It was just another and just a litany of disgraces. But that to me showed that she's the right person for the job. And then what do? They go out and they do something weird again. They go out and they hire a head coach before they do a GM. Or what do we all say? Here we go again.
The coach got the 6-year deal and the GM got the 5-year deal.
Exactly.
They don't know each other. They don't know each other.
Right.
And we're all like, what the hell are they doing?
Head scratching.
And it works. Thank you, Sheila.
I think the big thing too is what you're saying is when you get a chance to have a what do you call it, a front row seat. There it is. When you have a front row seat to something for so long, you pick up on the bad things. You pick up on what didn't work. You pick up on the good things. You pick up on what did work. She's had a front row seat, man. She's watched her father. She's watched her mother. She's watched her brother. She's watched all this loss and all this, so everything that they lost and how they lost and why they lost the fan base and things of that nature. You followed that. She became a fan. She was like, well, I agree with them. And along the way of her waiting her turn, she became the fan that now is going to be an owner in the image of a fan. So it's going to be fun. I mean, it seems like it's fun. And you're listening to this interview. She really cares about the city. She really cares about the team. But she's still going to do it her way. Like, make no mistake about it. This isn't Rod Wood. This isn't Chris Spielman. This is Sheila Hamp's team. and they just play a major part.
And thanks to the chat for reminding me. It was Thanksgiving, and if I'm pretty sure it was against the Texans. Didn't they lay a 40?
Oh yeah.
Didn't they lay 45 on us? It was the COVID Thanksgiving. That's what it was.
Yeah,
COVID
no doubt.
Thanksgiving. So thank you, guys.
Guys want the latest information on the Lions. The Lions Insiders have you covered with shows twice this week. Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and the legend Terry Foster bringing you the latest news and breakdowns. This week it's going to be airing tomorrow, Thursday morning, 7 to 8. Sunday mornings, 8 to 9. Lions Insider Show, your first stop on game day. Check them out on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Back to Dan Miller and Sheila Hamp.
Lions fans. Last year I came out after we were 1-5, but I could see what was going on, and I really believed in the leadership and the coaches we had, and Brad's process and all the scouts and everybody that was working so hard on this, that it was going to be fine.
That was my next question. Okay. There are pivotal moments for owners. That was one of them. Mm-hmm. They're 1-5. And you chose that time to double down on Brad and Dan and say, this is a vote of confidence. They're my guys. I have no doubts. Was there any moment after that where you said, man, I hope I'm right? Because you put a lot on the line there.
Well, no, I really could see what was going on. I really believed that. And, I think there were a couple games we lost by 3 points or something. We were very close. We went and lost the next game, and maybe thought, whoops, but no, not really. I could see what was going on, and I felt great about our leadership, and I obviously still do.
You see them every day. Mm-hmm. People in Detroit believe that they are the right ones, but you are up close, you watch them work. What is it that stands out to you?
Well, just their collaboration, which was part of the culture change I wanted to have happen here. That, I realized that there wasn't a lot of communication going on between different groups of people, and between the people in Allen Park and Ford Field. It seemed to me that the whole organization needed to somehow be on the same page for this to work. And Brad and Dan are perfect examples of that. To watch them together, not that they always agree on everything, of course not, but they listen to each other, they talk to each other, and I think the combination together is really spectacular.
The thing that I see now, having watched this organization for 27 years, that is better than it ever has been, just from my point of view, and that starts with you and your vision, is everybody in this organization now feels valued. Everybody feels when they come to work that they're a part of what's happening here. Is that ultimately what you think drives this?
That's ultimately what we've been working for, exactly, because it does take all of us. It's not just, what's happening on the football field. It's what's happening in the ticket office. It's what's happening on the grounds crew. It's everybody. It's our fans. It's all of us. We're all in this together, and I think for the thing to work, it's, that's how it's got to be, and everyone's got to feel proud and excited. And the person who's really been instrumental in this is Chris Spielman. He has been phenomenal in helping with this idea. And every Tuesday after our games, he goes down to Ford Field and goes over a film with anyone who wants to come. And he does a football 101 course with anyone who wants to hear it. I mean, he's been amazing.
Did you know he would be that guy when you reached out to him?
Well, I've always admired and loved Chris, but I didn't know him as well as I do now. And he's just phenomenal. I don't know if you've seen him out of practice with his bucket.
Yep. And filling the sand holes.
He'll do anything, and it speaks volumes.
This is a unique challenge to own an NFL team, because everything you do is measured, everything you do is looked at. What have you learned about yourself in this process?
Well, I think I've grown a lot in this process. The fact that the right people are here, and I can see it all happening before my eyes. I'm happy that been able to pick the right people, and I wasn't sure. I've never been in this sort of leadership position before, so I didn't know if that was going to be the case or not. It's like anything new you try, you don't really know. But I'm so pleased, and certainly could never do this alone. I have a lot of support.
There was a time you couldn't get a job in the NFL simply because you're a woman. You now own a team. You watched your mother break down barriers. We're seeing other women all over the league at every level do it as well. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it's fantastic. It really is. I mean, the story of when I graduated from college. And, I knew Pete Rozelle. He was kind of a friend. He was sort of, my dad took me to some league meetings with him, and I had dinner with the commissioner, and he was sort of blown away that a girl in the day knew so much about football. And he really tried to help me find a job. I mean, he really did, and there was literally nothing. And so to see that changing, it's phenomenal. And there are women in all kinds of positions now, which is absolutely great. I think the glass ceiling's been broken, which is fabulous.
Brad, Dan, players will point out they haven't done anything yet. But what does it mean to you to hear people nationally say that the Lions are doing it right and they now have expectations on them?
Well, it's fantastic. It really is. It's so exciting. And the fact that we're playing in Kansas City, the very first game of the whole NFL season, obviously the league thinks of us differently. The amount of national games they put on our schedule is exciting. We didn't have any last year. So it's really wonderful, and I think we're up for the challenge.
Final thing. There's a lot of work that has to be done, but I just wonder, have you allowed yourself that dream, that vision of standing in Hart Plaza with 1 million of your friends around holding the Lombardi Trophy?
I've thought about it. Yes, I have. I can't lie and say I haven't. But first things first. But I really have thought about it, and it'd be the most wonderful thing, the city, our fans, my family, all together holding that trophy up. It would be fantastic.
And that's really what it's all about, is holding that trophy up. And whether this works or not, whether this season is one that we think it could be or not, at least I think we can all agree that this organization has the pieces in place now that can take this thing to the next level. And the next level is a division championship, a playoff win, playoff wins, heaven forbid, making it to a Super Bowl, and then eventually winning a Super Bowl. However that track goes, I think we can all agree that up to this point, under Sheila Hamp's ownership, they have done the right things. They have gotten to the right spaces, and they have now a franchise that can win a Super Bowl. Not a team, not an organization, but this franchise together can win a world's championship.
Hey, for the first time ever, at least in the Super Bowl era, the Lions are being talked about. And I mean, they weren't talked about when they had Barry Sanders. They were not talked about. Maybe once in a while, Berman.
Barry Sanders was talked about,
yes,
but not the
Lions. Not the Lions.
Yeah.
And you saw what Calvin Johnson did when he went to the Hall of Fame. No mention of the Lions. That bridge has been repaired, thankfully, going forward. I mean, they were at the pits. They were below the pits of all sports franchises. And now you have an official NFL team, Detroit. Congrats.
That definitely did something too. When you're a Detroit Lions and you don't get many good days, in the past, you don't get many good days, and you look forward to saying, oh, you know what? We have one of ours going into the Hall of Fame. Well, at least this will be a good day for the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
And then to have Calvin go up there and not mention it, it's an eye-opener.
Yep.
Like that's an eye-opener. Ryan, I believe, you ever hear, not you ever hear because I know you have, the difference between a job and a career. Remember they taught us that when we were kids?
Yep, absolutely.
They taught us that when we were kids. The difference between a job and a career is job is something you do to make money, something you have to do. A career is something you invest in. A career is something you want to do. A career is something you're about. Sheila and the Lions now, they treat it like a career. It's a career. You nurture a career. You make the smartest decisions for a career. You protect a career. A job, it's day to day. May have it today, may not have it tomorrow. She treats this like a career now. This is a franchise.
No doubt. Guys, a stat that you have got to see regarding Patrick Mahomes. We'll do that next, and we'll go around the NFL. But first, a message from SMA.
The sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com, thesportsma.com. Sports marketing agency, looking out for your mental health.
When winners, losers, pushes and draws, over-unders, prop bets, futures and spreads. Are you sick and tired of your picks being losers? Do you want to learn how to bet like a champion? Well, Woodward Sports searched the globe for the most dangerous man with a bet slip in his hand and gave him a show. Coming soon to Woodward Sports. Tune in every weekend as we introduce the greatest gambler to ever walk the earth.
Hi, I'm Booner, and I don't lose.
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win that $100,000 Vegas getaway. Register at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy your Cintron at your local Meijer. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste. If you want to look good, feel great, be the best version of yourself, get some Cintron. Go register at drinkcintron.com/Vegas. drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
Guys, I'm going to show you a stat that's just incredible.
You have to?
It is beyond incredible.
No, man, I promise you want him to. I promise.
And one of the reasons why you hedge your bets a little bit regarding this Detroit line, as long as, forget about Kelsey, forget about Chris Jones, as long as 15 is out there, the Chiefs have not only a shot, the Chiefs are the favorite to play. The Chiefs are the favorite when they play any game that 15 is involved in. Guys, over the last 5 openers, okay, dating back to 2018, Patrick Mahomes is 5-0 with 1,542 yards, 18 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, and a 136.9 passer rating. That is a perfect passer rating.
Jeez.
And not only that, he has never thrown less than 3 touchdown passes on any given opening night. This guy is electric and as good as they come. And maybe when it's all said and done, the greatest quarterback ever to play the position. And you might even be able to call him that now.
Damn.
I just
No, go ahead.
can't take that tag away from Tom Brady just yet. Maybe a couple more years of this, but he's doing things at this quarterback position that we have never, ever seen. He gets all my respect in the world, and I think every NFL fan's respect. It's just a joy to watch this cat play football.
Definitely, I think all too often we're trying to replace Tom Brady as being the greatest of all time and disrespecting his 7 Super Bowls and everything he did. So, sometimes we have to relax. I agree. But he is, when it's all said and done, going to be a better quarterback. But you know what I love about that? And that's why I said, Maz, no, you actually want him to put this up there. Because my stepdad, CP, shout out to CP out there.
What's up, Charles?
What's up, CP? What's going on, Dad? Dad has a thing. Every time an announcer or the
jinx.
It's the jinx. It's every time the announcer, man, he goes up, see the field goal kicker, he said, you know what, Bob? He's perfect from 40 inside 40 this year. This is gonna be a piece. Oh, and it's wide left. Remember Bob Buckner in the Red Sox? Oh, it's a routine. It's a routine ground ball. Oh, and he bobbles it
Behind the bag.
Every time they say something like this, they put a stat out. They didn't put the stat out there last year or the year before that, but the stat's out there now, trying to remind people how good Patrick Mahomes is. He is that damn good. But I see this as this is a good thing for the Lions, because you know what? In all those games, when he had the 4 touchdowns and the 378 and the 0 interceptions, you know who was out there with him? Travis Kelce was out there with him in all of those games.
Yeah, he was.
Travis Kelce won't be Travis Kelce tomorrow. Chris Jones was on the field in all of those games. Chris Jones won't be out there tomorrow. So that's why I'm saying that right there, that stat, that's a good sign for the Detroit Lions.
Hey, just know that Vegas still knows.
That's why it's coming down. They went from...
Yeah, they want to take money on the line.
This is true.
So it's even.
Maz, I will tell you, though, Travis Kelce, big target in the red zone. Where are they going to replace those red zone targets? That is definitely a question that I think you have to consider. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway, this guy right over here. Oh, look at that. Oh, and Stick. Is that Stick up there? Look at that graphic. Tom Mazaway going to be hosting the Lions post-game show after every Lions game all season long. Tune in to Woodward Sports' YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, Kool-Aid simping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Maz and special guests each week. Looks like Stick is going to be there tomorrow night too. Oh, yeah. Following every Lions game exclusively on WSN's YouTube channel.
Tune in and call in, guys, tomorrow.
Ooh, we're going to get the call-ins
Hell yeah.
going.
It's tough not to give Patrick Mahomes the credit he deserves, and we're giving it to him. Like, he's the best quarterback in the game. He's the best player in the game. He's that damn good. I mean, the stats that we just showed, they speak for themselves. But it's the thing when you don't have your guy out there that is responsible for, 38% of your offense. And talking about Travis Kelce, 15 touchdowns last year, 1,338 yards last year. Not being at that speed, what Chris Jones did. I know he has Sky Moore. I know he has Kadarius Toney. I know he has Valdez Scantling and Pacheco and McKinnon. But he's not going to have his right arm. Having Travis Kelce allows him to do a lot running. Now you're going to have a secondary that doesn't have to worry about keeping 2 eyes or 3 eyes on one guy. They don't have to worry about doubling Travis Kelce as of right now. I'm just playing the hypothetical if he doesn't play him as we're saying right now. If they don't have to have 2 eyes on Travis Kelce, now it's one on. It's little things like this, man, to make this going to be interesting.
I will say this. Just a side note. They did draft a tight end a couple of years ago in the 3rd round, and this kid, his name escapes me right now. I'll get it for you. He is the backup tight end and probably will get most of the reps.
Noah Gray.
There you go. 3rd round draft pick.
We'll talk more about the Chiefs and the Lions coming up in just about 8 minutes from now when we're joined by Jesse Newell of the Kansas City Star, Chiefs beat reporter for that newspaper and that website. Guys, we are going to send it over to Tom Mazaway. We've got to get you caught up on some news and notes now from around the NFL. Some really, really interesting stories happening, including Sean Payton.
He's my lead. Oh, Sean Payton has done it again. Here's the guy that called out Hackett earlier in this year.
Nathaniel
Hackett called him out, called him the worst coach he ever saw. The Broncos were the worst coach team. And now he is calling out his quarterback. Well, not calling him out. He's trying to pump him up, Ryan.
Will you bleeping stop kissing all the babies, Peyton said. You're not running for public office.
Right, that's right. And Russell Wilson, as you know, always walks that line.
Right.
Always has got to be the most liked guy in the building, Braylon.
Saints general manager Mickey Loomis says he can be difficult talking about Sean Payton to be his best friend, though, but he's got 2 or 3 steps ahead of everyone.
Yeah.
That's a big call out.
So this is a major call out, and one, it goes from a guy we know who his mentor is, Tom Mazaway. It's Bill Parcells. This is a Bill Parcells thing if I've ever seen it. This is a Bill Parcells thing. You come in, you take over, you say, hey, this is my team in so many words, but you let a guy know what it is. You let a guy know, and if I will say this, it's a tougher time to be like this, Sean Payton. Guys are sensitive, especially a guy like Russell. I played on the team with him. He's even more sensitive than the average individual is nowadays. But at the same time, Ryan, Russell needs something lit under his butt.
Yep.
Like, pause. Like, he needs something because last year wasn't it. And as much as Nathaniel Hackett played a part in that, Russell Wilson also played a major part of it. He was bad last year. And he wasn't that good this year in preseason so far. Wasn't that good in training camp. To the point where Sean Payton has to still say this. Here we are, the week of the season opener. So if Russell was smart, he would look at it as, you know what? This is a guy that worked with Drew Brees. This is Drew Brees' guy. Drew Brees is here. Drew Brees is one of those guys that's here. If I want to get back on track like that, you know what? I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna eat this one. I'm gonna swallow this. You know what? Cool. Time for me to start focusing on football alone. And I start to work with Sean Payton because Sean Payton can get him back. But Sean can't keep having comments like this. He can't keep saying calling players like the can't keep calling players out like this all season long. Like, this is a one and done. I get it. By calling Russell out, you don't have to call out Jerry Jeudy. You don't have to call out Pat Surtain II. You've called the main guy out. Can't keep doing it all season though.
I almost think that he thinks Russell Wilson is holding the team back. I mean, there was a lot of talk last year about Russell Wilson, about parking spaces, about offices, about just a complete disconnect from the teammates. And maybe all of those guys that called him out last year, maybe they weren't wrong.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense too, because for Sean Payton saw Drew Brees, who was about as good as you're going to get at the quarterback position. He saw him be a team guy. So I guess in Sean Payton's mind, Sean Payton's like, well, if I saw Drew Brees be a team guy, you ain't no Drew Brees, and why aren't you a team guy? Here's the thing that Russell you gotta worry about. Russell is not Sean Payton's guy. Sean Payton just brought in who? Jarrett Stidham.
Yep.
Like, so that's why he's making this comment. I've been in a situation before where I've seen it. When a coach, you're not his guy, he can go to the ownership and say, hey, look, it's not my guy. You brought him in. You guys made a decision, a bad decision, a terrible decision. I wasn't here for that. He's not the guy. And he just won't listen to me. We got to get rid of him. You watch Winning Time, what happened? West Hill was gone.
See ya.
It's the reverse in this option. It would be Russell Wilson. So that's why Sean Payton's making a comment like this, because he can.
Tell you right now, if the Denver Broncos go 0-2, Jarrett Stidham's the quarterback of that football team. I mean, you're not playing Chiefs Bengals. You go Raiders Washington.
He might be down in the first half of the first game.
Back-to-back home games too. You go 0-2 at home.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson's playing days might be over.
And I tell you right,
at least in Denver.
And I'll tell you why you're right. Everybody out there is like, what, he's making $275 million over the next 5 years? He'll blah, blah. No. He's absolutely right. And the reason why he's absolutely right, because they don't have time. Because when there's smoke, there's fire. You heard last year, had his own locker, wouldn't talk to the team, like was on his own accord, yada, yada, yada. Insert this offseason, some of the same things. Sean Payton comes, says, we're going to change things. We're going to get this thing sold up. They can't get it sold up. And now Russell's still not good. You got Sean Payton. If Sean Payton can't figure it out with you on offense, you can't figure it out, then maybe it is you. So if you go 0-2 after everything from last year, everything in this offseason, and then how the preseason was, you bet your ass that he's going to be on the bench.
By the way, Seattle's John Schneider and Pete Carroll.
They get it, man.
They are laughing all the way to the bank. They stole that trade, and they know it.
Yeah, they made
no doubt.
Yeah, they made some moves. Like when I was out there, they
knew
see things.
If Russell Wilson played his best with Pete Carroll, Pete Carroll knew how to put him in the right situation, except for one damn play, of course, in the Super Bowl.
He blew down one.
Guys, we're going to talk to Jesse Newell of the Kansas City Star. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Glorious. Very glorious.
That's right. Just in time football. You see the colors up there, and if you can't see it, it's Honolulu Blue. That's right. Ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good. It's like just taking a whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years, which the Lions plan on taking care of this year. If you hadn't had it, it's the ice water pre-rolls you are missing out on. Go to Glorious Canna. That is CANNA.com.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Calling all landscapers, how would you like to landscape like a legend? Register for your chance to have 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty work your crew for a day. That's right, D-Mac on the zero turn, weed whipping and edging for your favorite clients. Sign up today, OutdoorEquipCo.com, OutdoorEquipCo.com, your power equipment playground. Hour number 2 of the program, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. Guys, we're so excited. Just about 28 hours?
Yes, sir.
Or so, 29 hours
29.
from kickoff in Kansas City. We've been looking forward to this since the schedule came out. And without further ado, let's continue to talk about it with Jesse Newell, the Kansas City Star, Kansas City Chiefs beat reporter for the Kansas City Star. Jesse, thanks so much for the time. We really appreciate it here in Detroit.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, I got to ask you, first and foremost, it looks like Chris Jones stepped foot in Kansas City today and met with reporters. What is the latest with one of the best defensive players in the NFL?
Yeah, sports writing, you wake up, you never know what you're going to get. I was going to go to McDonald's today, do some work, go back to my home office, talk to you guys, and nope, Chris Jones decided he was going to go to the Ronald McDonald House and talk to some kids there in Kansas City and fly in from Miami to do so. So, the latest with him is he just continues to hold out. He talked today about just wanting a raise. Said he didn't feel like he was really letting teammates down, just basically saying, hey, if you're at a job and you're asking for a raise, that doesn't affect anybody around you, and that's sort of where he sits at. But says he's in good shape. He mentioned that he could play tomorrow if everything got settled. Obviously, that's not going to happen or shouldn't happen here in the last 24 hours, but just kind of continue to talk about what he wants from the Chiefs and how he wants to get more money, and that just is going to entail a process that's going to play on past today. So Chris Jones did talk, but a lot more of just him holding out and continuing to do what he thinks is best for him. So we shouldn't see him against the Lions, and for the Chiefs, I think they'd be lucky to see him here even in the next few weeks.
Hey, Jesse, I know that Chris Jones said, and Braylon Edwards here, appreciate you for joining the show. I know Chris Jones says that, he's not a distraction right now and nobody has a problem with that, but I've been in those locker rooms when guys are holding out. I've seen how it is. Guys say one thing, but it could be another thing. Have you sensed any level from the Kansas City Chiefs that this is bothering them, maybe on defense, a little bit more than he's letting on?
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised to hear him say that because he was asked specifically whether he thought he was letting down his teammates, and he pretty emphatically said no. But I think you're right, Bill. And I think for Andy Reid, he hates dealing with these situations to start with. He hates talking about it. I don't know if you guys got to catch the 2 minutes of talk he had yesterday after the Travis Kelce injury, but he was pretty terse, pretty short with his answers. He was, I'm sure, frustrated with the Kelce injury, but also getting asked more about Chris Jones. But I think you've even seen a little bit of a change in tone from Patrick Mahomes. From a couple of weeks ago when he was asked about it, he said, hey, when Chris is back, he's doing what's best for his family. The team welcomed him with open arms. I asked him about that earlier this week just to say, hey, what are your thoughts now that it looks like you're going to play week 1 without him? And he basically said what Andy Reid said, which is you deal with the guys that are in the building. So, again, it is hard to get out in the public with the media and have these guys, give truthful answers because they're in a tough spot. You're dedicated and devoted to your team, and you're also wanting what's best for your teammate and for them to get the most money available. But is there a possibility that this thing maybe has changed tone here over the last couple of weeks? I definitely think that could be the case.
Hey, Jesse, Tom Mazaway, thanks again for coming on with us, man. Last week we did a story on Travis Kelce. Well, we're going to talk about him in a second, but last week he was the one that was saying, hey, Chris, we need you. I'm begging for you to come back. What's with that then?
Yeah, and Travis it's hard to more parse out his because he's got that really, really super popular podcast with his brother. I think part of that was sort of for the entertainment value with him and Jason kind of begging him to come back. Come on, Chris, what are you doing? And then part of that, as he kind of kept going along, seemed like it was a little bit accurate when he was talking about, okay, I don't understand what you're doing. I don't get this, that sort of thing. So Travis was asked about that earlier this week. It's hard. He kind of said he was having some fun with it. And, he's on the podcast. You kind of play up a little bit for that. But I think there are some probably true raw emotions in there that Travis was talking about. And you look at those two players. You look at Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. What they're known for now and potentially what they're going to be known for in the future is they've signed deals with the Chiefs that have been pretty team friendly. And Patrick Mahomes has been open about that. He's right now, in terms of APY, he's ranked 8th out of the quarterbacks in the NFL. And again, he signed a long-term deal at the time. It was the richest in, I think it was North American sports history or whatever the case may be. But he's been content to say, hey, I'm okay getting my share as long as I can keep good teammates around me and guys like Chris Jones are happy and able to go out and win championships. So I think there's a mindset there, at least from those guys, that I'm okay not having the top as long as I'm out here chasing championships and with the guys I want to be with. Where this has gone with Chris Jones has gone in a different direction. It seems like Chris Jones right now is in a position where he's looking for absolute top dollar here. And whether it ends up being in KC or not down the line, I think that is something still to be determined.
It's a little bit easier, Jesse, when you take less. When you're doing Saturday Night Live, you're making $15 million off the field. You can negate some of that fee.
Yeah,
Chris Jones isn't making that money off the field.
Chris Jones isn't doing that. That's right. Hey, Jesse, let me
ask you. He's got the DirecTV.
Oh, yeah.
DirecTV commercials.
That's true.
He's got
That's
the
true.
limited one. SNL pays you a little bit more.
Okay, you're right. Here's one. They have like 20.
Hey, Jesse, we're talking to Jesse Newell, Chiefs beat reporter for the Kansas City Star. Mentioned Travis Kelce. I think when this thing came down about 24 hours ago, when Andy Reid revealed that Travis Kelce had perhaps a hyperextended knee or whatever the injury is, I think a lot of us here in Detroit were like, what was that? This is, if Travis Kelce can't play, and even if he can and isn't going to be 100%, how big of a hit is this to the Chiefs offense? As long as they got 15 out there, seems like Kansas City's got a chance. but big hit, though, with Kelce if he can't play.
Well, you guys are like me. I mean, we get to the Andy Reid press conference yesterday, and it's what they call Fast Friday. It's usually a really light practice 2 days before a game. And so Andy Reid comes up there. We weren't expecting any injuries, and he goes, yeah, Kels hyperextended his knee out there at practice. We're going to see what happens. And, I mean, I'm racking my brain like, Kels? Is there somebody besides Travis Kelce? I'm not remembering right now, just to make sure I totally understood what was happening. But, guys, I think you look at the Vegas line, and it's pretty indicative of what's happening here. It's sort of interesting. May 11th, when the lines first came out for the game, the Chiefs were 6.5-point favorites against the Lions. Earlier this week, when we all assumed that Chris Jones was not playing for the Chiefs, the line was 6.5-point favorites for the Chiefs. In the last 24 hours, since Travis Kelce seems to be ruled out for this game, I think it just might have come out online there, the line has dropped to 4.5 for the Chiefs. And so we talk about this being like, hey, this is Andy Reid, this is Travis Kelce, and this is Patrick Mahomes, and this line sort of indicates that. It seems like the Vegas people out there are trying to get this money back on the right side, and that this Travis Kelce absence is moving this thing a couple points. So who to look for in his absence? Obviously, Noah Gray is the backup tight end. He has been the backup, but has been emerging. He was better last year than he was the year before, so you can look for him. A couple receivers. I don't know if they'll activate them both, have them both be active on game day, but Rashee Rice is a second-round draft pick. They've used him kind of like a tight end, physicality, blocking-wise, coming toward close to the line of scrimmage in a close split to be able to do that. So he does some physical things like a tight end. And then Justin Ross is their second-year receiver who is a jump ball threat in the red zone. 6'4", can make guys, can get around guys in short-term space. So I wasn't sure both of them were going to be active for this game, but if the Chiefs are trying to replace a tight end with other tight end type players, they might look to those two receivers.
Love Justin Ross out of Clemson. He was phenomenal when Clemson had their run. Too bad those days are over. I got a question. What about Sky Moore? Sky Moore's a guy we didn't see a lot last year. The Chiefs were high on him throughout the process of the draft last year, and then obviously we see him score in the Super Bowl. Is that a relationship that Patrick Mahomes has kind of tended over the offseason, and now we're expecting a boom once the season starts?
Yeah, Sky Moore's absolutely the guy to watch. I mean, anytime anybody asks me about fantasy football questions, that's the one I really mention. It's hard to get sleepers on the Chiefs because, you've heard of Mahomes, you've heard of Kelce. I mean, those are pretty big names, but I would say he's the guy. Last year was really a transition year for him. They had him play all three wide receiver spots. It's a lot to learn in the Chiefs offense. Andy Reid, historically, it's a tough offense to learn anyway because of all the mental processing you have to do before the snap. And then not only that, Patrick Mahomes, and what makes him and Kelce so good is so much of what they do is post-snap. They adjust to the defense that's out there, and they go and find those openings. And you have to see the game the way Mahomes sees it for him to trust you and be out there. I remember last year in a game against the 49ers where Sky Moore came across the middle, and he didn't cut it at the exact right route, did not cut in front of the defender. And because of that, the defender came up and made an interception. And Andy Reid said afterwards, hey, that's on Sky Moore. That's not on Patrick Mahomes. But that's the sort of thing we're talking about. You can lose trust in a receiver if that happens. But Sky Moore of the offseason was the first one to work out with Mahomes, worked out with him all those months, talks about his understanding of the playbook, how he's not just listening for the play and figuring out what to do. He's learning and figuring out how to beat the man in front of him. All that is second nature now. So I've been saying this for a while. I think Sky Moore's 900 yards plus for the Chiefs this year receiving. He only had 250 a year ago. So if he takes that step, it will be a significant step, but they're definitely expecting more out of him in his second season here with the Chiefs.
Jesse, I apologize. I tricked you. That was a fantasy question, but thank you.
Hey, Jesse, I wanted to ask you, how are the Lions viewed nationally in Kansas City? This is, for us here in Detroit, this is probably the most anticipated season that the Lions have played football since 1991, the date of their last playoff win. They finished 8-2 last year, and this town is thoroughly excited. Most of us probably, when the schedule came out, counted this one as a guaranteed loss, though. Now, with Chris Jones out, with Travis Kelce out, I think a lot of people here in Detroit are like, yeah, they can go in there and beat the Chiefs. How do people in Kansas City view the Lions?
Yeah, I mean, I think up and coming is what you're talking about. And, you know, I've read I saw the Dan Wetzel piece out there, like, is this the game of the century for the Lions, that sort of thing. And there's something to be said about that factor of you're going in there and trying to prove yourself against somebody who has won the championship. I mean, you go back and look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs had this happen just a few years ago. The Patriots were out there. The Chiefs had the season opening game against the Patriots. The Patriots were out there, had all their inflatable Lombardi trophies on the field. We're celebrating it. We're dropping a banner. And the Chiefs went out and hung a bunch of points on them and won that game going away. And I think, again, it was sort of like putting the Chiefs on the map and a team that was very motivated going in there. And so, you know, I've talked about this. I think that this is a fascinating matchup in that regard, because just hearing the comments from Dan Campbell this week and from some of the Lions coaches and players, it does seem like there's a little extra emphasis on this game, because the Lions, we saw at the end of last season, we saw how they played better defensively, that rookies stepped up, all those sorts of things. But this is sort of like a prove it game for them. And what better way to prove it than to go into the home of the world champs and try to beat them on national television when there's no other game on. So Andy Reid has high respect for the Lions. Obviously, he talked about them earlier this week, and the last half of their season compared to the first half and that sort of thing. But this should be a great game playing out. And it does really feel like that sort of this is a great test for the Chiefs, because they know they're getting everybody's best shot this year after winning a Super Bowl, but the Lions might take that to another level just based off of their trajectory and what they're trying to prove to people and also to themselves this season.
So you got a question for you on the Chiefs offense, their running game. Last year they do it, Isaac Pacheco, they got Jerick McKinnon. What happened to Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Is he still going to do anything on this team? Have they given up on him? What's up with the whole running game with the Chiefs?
Yeah, he is still here. He's still got a lot of first-team reps in training camp. I don't know. I mean, it's tough for us to know. Like, Pacheco took over that job late last year. He ran really well. He ran really well in the Super Bowl even while he was injured. He's been in a non-contact jersey for most of training camp, so he's been eased back into action, but he's supposed to be full go for this particular game. He got a few snaps in the last preseason game. Jerick McKinnon obviously is their pass protector, and then the passing game that they use so much. He was the AFC Offensive Player of the Month for December, which is just crazy to say, because of all the touchdowns he was able to catch and all the fantasy titles he was able to win for folks out last year. But, when it comes to Clyde, they continue to put him out there. They continue to have him, and the fit on the roster doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but he's a former first-round pick, and obviously they had faith in him at one point because of that, and if they can recoup something out of there, then they're going to try to do it. So for a while, I thought he'd be a good trade candidate if somebody wanted to offer them something and clear up space in that running back room, but the more time went on, the more they just kept using him in the preseason, especially with those other two players having their reps limited because of injuries. So we'll see with Clyde. I think what he really lacks is burst. I mean, he just does not have the top-end quickness, speed that you see from a lot of NFL running backs. But before he got injured last year, he had some successful moments. If you remember Patrick Mahomes doing the whirly cue against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and throwing the ball in the end zone, that pass was to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So he can help in the passing game. He's been there a while. They know what they're getting from him. It's not quite the burst that you expect at the NFL level, not the burst that a guy like Isaiah Pacheco will give them when he's in the game in the backfield there.
Jesse, thanks so much for doing this, man. Hopefully, maybe we could do it again in February if it's Lions and Chiefs in the Super Bowl. How about that? All right. Thanks, Jesse Newell. Go ahead.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yep, you got it.
Thank you. Appreciate you, buddy.
Chiefs beat reporter for the Kansas City Star. Awesome stuff there. Guys, Woodward Sports College Football Game Day just got better. For the love of college football pregame show, Saturday mornings from 8:30 to 10 a.m. Spencer Raxter, Flannel Sam, Easy, and many more will preview all the big games that Saturday schedule has to offer. Start your Saturdays with us for the love of college football pregame show only on WSN's YouTube channel. It's so funny, guys, that just glance up on the TV screen. We've got Fox Sports on in here, FS1, and the banner that they're talking about right now. What's a bigger story? The Chiefs win without Kelsey and Jones, or Lions win an upset in KC? And then before that, it was, can the Chiefs beat the Lions without Kelsey and Jones? I mean, you talk about the amount of respect that Detroit is getting. It is insane. But the question is, what kind of respect does Braylon Edwards give the Lions? We are going to go Braylon's picks. Season NFC, AFC championship games.
It may shock you. It may surprise you. But did you hear the one thing? The one thing that, and we don't have to respond to Jesse's. He was actually really good, by the way.
He was.
But the one thing I tell you, we talked.
He was terrific.
You put up that stat line about Patrick Mahomes and what he's done in openers and touchdowns and yards and zeros for interceptions and all that. And I said, there's been one guy that has been there the whole time. And that's Travis Kelce. When he said he asked him 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago about Chris Jones, he was all upbeat. He was all good. He was all cool. And then this week, when he asked him on Monday, it was kind of like, we got to play with the guys here, which means he's already getting irritated that one of his best players is not going to be there. Now, what do you think the question is going to be when they ask Patrick Mahomes? That means he's sweating. I'm telling you, yo, it's going to be a butt whooping.
Braylon's picks next, but first a message from Swiss.
Yes. Do you have football on the brain? Kind of like myself. Of course you do. Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. Fall is also a perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with the pros at Swiss Insurance. They cover us here at WSN, and they should be covering you as well. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com, or give him a call at 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance.
Swiss Insurance.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Downtown's newest sports bar, that's right, 5 Iron Golf Downtown, located at the Cambria Hotel. Man, this is the new place to play. We go every Thursday because Woodward Sports has their golf league 5 to 7. You go 13 brand new simulators, every course in the world that you want to play. Drinks are amazing, as well as the food. Food is good too. Play, practice, party. I'm telling you, it's about to become fall. Golf is going to start to cease to exist outside. You're going to want to get in and get in while it's hot. Thursday night football, what better place to go? Monday night football, what better place to go? 5 Iron Golf, downtown Detroit.
Guys, hit that like button. Let's see if we can get to over 250 likes. Let's get to over 250.
250.
By the end of this segment, because Braylon Edwards is about to give you his season predictions. We saved the best for last.
I'm going to give you season predictions.
Just to remind everybody. Go ahead, Bray.
Quick question.
Sure.
I heard this question, and I thought I wanted to ask you guys this. Does Shedeur Sanders leave Colorado after this season? If he has one of those type years, does he leave?
Can we examine that?
Yes. Hey, see what I'm saying? We'll wait on that. Just think about it now. Does he leave?
I don't know. He makes more money than half the quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Deion Sanders, his father, has always been his coach. He's never had another coach.
We'll see what happens there. Very excited for this, though, Braylon. Just to recap, I gave my predictions. Maz has given him. Braylon has not given his yet. I went 12-5. I went Lions over the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game, and then Lions over the Jets in the Super Bowl. Maz, what were you?
I had the Lions going 13-4.
Ooh.
Lions fans.
Thank you, Sheila. I appreciate you too. NFC Championship, I had the 49ers knocking off the Eagles in a rematch. This time Brock Purdy coming out on top. And in the AFC, I had the Bengals and Joe Burrow knocking off Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. And I have the Bengals winning the Super Bowl over the San Francisco 49ers for the first time in 3 tries against those guys.
Well, now Braylon's up.
I may or may not have been on Glorious Cannabis when I filled this out this morning at 8:30. So, hey, we'll have some fun and we'll figure it out. Let's start with the Detroit Lions schedule. Let's get you the wins and losses, starting with the game tomorrow night. That would be the Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions. I'm going with a W. The more information you have, the better decision you can make. If you would ask me 2 weeks ago, I went with Kansas City. But the more information I have, I now will choose the Lions. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it'll be close. Game 2, Seattle. I still. What's the?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The box is blocking the graphic. So. Sorry.
So game 2, Seattle. I told you in that 2-game stretch, that first 2, I said it was going to be 1-1 regardless. Whether they won the first one, they will lose the second one. If they won the second one, they will lose the first one. So I'm going with Seattle will be a loss, Falcons a win, Green Bay will be a win, Carolina will be a win, the Bucs will be a win. At Lamar Jackson, I'm telling you, you'll find out why I'm so high on the Ravens a little bit later. I like Lamar Jackson, that top monking offense. I think that would be an L. Of course, they win Lomas night, Monday Night Football, against the Raiders. They will lose at SoFi. I think Kellen Moore will have Justin Herbert exactly where he wants him. That'll be interesting, too. They win against the Bears. They win at Green Bay. I don't believe in Jordan Love. I'm sorry, Maz. I do not believe in Jordan Love. I absolutely don't. But I do believe in Green Bay as a good team, just not him. I think they beat Derek Carr. I don't think that Saints is so much of a worry game as you guys think, especially with their schedule so easy. They will lose one in the NFC North.
5-1 you have in the division.
5-1.
Yeah.
They will lose.
We all do.
Chicago.
I went 6-0, and I said that's the one part about my record that I was uncomfortable with.
5-1 feels better. Whether it's Minnesota, like Maz and you guys think, or like Maz thinks, I think it's Chicago at Chicago. Broncos is dumb, and I'm not worried about Dallas. I'm not worried about Minnesota. 13-4. Could you have ever picked me to say 13-4, Ryan?
No, I did not think you were going to be 13-4.
13-4. Tell me what you think.
At all. I like the fact that you don't have back-to-back losses. I didn't either. I think all 3 of us have them losing to Baltimore, and I think that's the only game all 3 of us have the Lions losing, which means they will win that game.
The Chargers game, me and Matt, you have
I had them losing to the Chargers,
we got
too.
The Chargers too.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. Dude, I don't hate it. I really don't. So you're going. I think that Dallas game is a road game, by the way.
It is. It's a Saturday night game.
And the Minnesota games are flip-flopped.
Yeah, Minnesota's home to end it.
And notice I never gave him more. See, you got him going 5 in a row. Notice I gave him, and you probably got him going 6 in a row now. Notice I never gave him more than 4 in a row.
You got 7-1 at home.
7-1 at home, yeah. I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
They can be 7-1 at home.
And you've got 5-2 on the road.
That's going to be tough. I could be drinking too much Kool-Aid.
That's all right, man.
Or something else. It could be, we go to Dispo a lot.
Okay, let's move it along.
But I like it. I like it. All right, let's go to...
Hold on. Can I do this for a second?
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Let's collect our thoughts here. Let's kind of rush through this.
Don't rush through it.
Want to spend your weekends with us? Now you can. Woodward Sports Live Game Watch Party, the latest show to hit WSN's YouTube channel. Then, of course, September 7th, that's tomorrow night. Watch the Lions and Chiefs kick off the NFL season. Join us game days. Woodward Sports Live Game Watch Party only on WSN's YouTube channel. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'd like to take a break.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, you know what we can do when we come back from break? Let me ask you guys, get you involved, JB Parker. Which one of my picks is least likely to happen? as you look at it. So take a gander, take a look, and when we come back, we can see which one of those is least likely to happen.
And then Braylon's NFC seeds, AFC Championship, NFC Championship, and Braylon's Super Bowl coming up next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see this black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Have you ever argued with your little brother? How about some random guy you're stuck in a room with for an hour? Flannel Sam and Spencer Raxter are at each other's throats. One Spartan alumni and one Walmart Wolverine are locked in a room with nowhere to hide. You're welcome. Whether it's go blue or go green, you can go to woodwardsports.com for all the action. Coming soon to a device near you.
Calling all landscapers, this is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Wondering where the best Lions tailgate is? That's easy. Eastern Market, the official Detroit Lions tailgate party at Shed 5 in Eastern Market. Woodward Sports will be broadcasting live for every home game. 3-star Michelin buffet chef featuring Aaron May, Chef Aaron May. VIP parking and even tickets to the game if you need them. How do you sign up? Go to bullseyeeventgroup.com. Bullseyeeventgroup.com.
That's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot of fun this year. I plan on hanging out a little bit, having some fun. It'll be good. It'll be good. So before we went to the break, I gave you my Lions predictions, and Parker, give me, when you get a second, throw those up there for the people at home that didn't see them. I had them going 13-4, and you can see I was drinking the Kool-Aid, or I'm drinking it and all that good stuff, but I believe in energy. And I believe the Lions start the season off strong against Kansas City, and they'll continue that momentum. I don't like the Falcons, in terms of against the Lions. Falcons, Green Bay, Carolina, Tampa, they haven't shown me anything. You look at the Raiders, don't believe in them. Don't believe in a lot of teams on this schedule, and I don't believe in the Dallas Cowboys. So I stand firm on 13-4. I think tomorrow you'll see why. But let's get it cracking in the NFC.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah, please.
Can I ask the people one question? Say, Parker, can I have a one shot on me solely?
There you go.
How many people in the chat, or how many people that listen to us, when we started this exercise last week of picking the Lions season, had me pegged for the guy with the worst Lions record of the three of us?
That's true.
How many?
That's true.
12-5. These two guys, 13-4.
Well,
I love it.
I was going to go 12-5, Ryan.
I love it.
But I made a mistake, so I had to go 13-4.
I love it. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
I made a mistake on my AFC playoffs, but you know what? I'm going to stick with it.
All right.
But the question is, though, and I ask, realistically, what about these things can't happen? Like we talk about Kansas City, they're missing two guys. I mean, the Ravens lost. Even beating the Ravens. Hell, why couldn't they beat the Ravens?
Dude, they could win every game they play. There's not an automatic loss in the schedule.
100%. Even going out to LA, the only loss that I feel is the one that will most likely happen the most is the Chargers loss. I think they got to go all the way out to SoFi. It's tough. Justin Herbert, that revamped offense, adding in Quentin Johnston too. So if they're at full steam, Joey Bosa comes back, they're full steam. That one just is the tough one. Outside of that one, there's no one on there I don't think that they have a shot to beat.
Just remember, that's coming off a bye week. They could beat the Chargers.
And exactly.
Sure they could.
I agree. I don't think they are, but I think they can.
You just can't put 17-0 though. You got to give them some losses.
Exactly.
Of course. Right. All right, Bray. Let me see the
NFC
the seeds.
Let's do it. NFC, baby. I'm going.
Damn.
Yeah.
What do you got the Eagles at?
13-4.
Okay. Winning the tiebreaker?
Yeah, they're winning the tiebreaker.
Okay.
So the Lions, 2. C-Maz, your G-Men snuck in there.
Thank you.
I'm going with the Seahawks over the Niners. I'm going with the Saints. Niners still get in at 5. The G-Men do get in there at the 6 seed. 7 seed, the Dallas Cowboys. Even though I don't believe in Dakota Rain Prescott, look, Jerry Jones said something today. He's got to get paid. You got $121 million in extensions this year in the Dallas Cowboys. You know who didn't get extended, man? It was Dak Prescott. Yeah. He's sending Dak a message like, look, you got to show me. You got to show me if you want to get extended. So I think Dak is going to
get a contract 2 years ago?
No, that contract, it seems like 2 years ago, but it was 2020.
Oh, wow.
He's up for a new one now. So
3 teams in the NFC East.
3 teams in the NFC East, man.
Seahawks winning the West.
Love it. Seahawks win. I think San Fran's going to lose their opening game. They open up in Pittsburgh against the Steelers.
I don't hate it.
So, yes, this is where I'm at with the NFC. What do you think? Where we at with this? Parker, what you think?
I mean, I like this one better than the AFC one. I can tell you that.
You caught the team I missed, the AFC. I told you it was 8:40 in the morning.
Yeah. I think San Francisco is definitely going to be there. I just don't foresee that we're going to have 3 NFC East teams.
And if we do, one of them's going to be Washington.
I
believe in football team this year.
I believe in Brian Daboll. They have a top 10 defense. They got top 10 defense, man. I'm telling you, I believe in Brian Daboll as an offensive coordinator, and I believe in the top 10 defense. Flip it to the AFC.
The Giants won a playoff game last year.
I know.
Exactly.
And they're better this year.
Don't carry over either.
Yes, it does.
Here's the AFC, baby. Here's the AFC.
Wow.
Notice, no Joe Burrow in there, huh?
Oh, my.
No Bengals.
Look, I don't hate it. You cannot, everybody, tell me what team does not belong in there.
So the Baltimore Ravens are my team this year. They are my team this year. That's, not the Jets or Lions. So Ravens, they're number 1 seed. Chargers. I got the Chargers winning the division.
Oh, my.
No
I got the Chargers winning the division.
I don't agree with it, but I get it.
I'm going with the Chargers,
You were at Dispo.
When
you did this.
I'm going to Chargers to win the division. Look, man, every year it gets harder and harder for Patrick Mahomes to win that division. It gets harder to beat Justin Herbert. They finally got the secret sauce. They went out and got Kellen Moore. Now you take a lot of that out of Brandon Staley's hand. Thank God, hopefully. I'm saying the Chargers. Every year with Chargers and KC, it's a 3-point game. It's a 3-point game that the Chiefs win. I'm telling you, Chargers win the division this year. So do the Dolphins. Jags got a tougher schedule than I thought, but they still win their division. Put KC 5, Jets wild card is 6, and Buffalo will get the last spot.
Okay, here's where I don't hate it. Again, you are going to have a good football team or 2 or 3 not make the playoffs in the AFC under this scenario. Pittsburgh out, Cincinnati out, Cleveland out.
That division is going to beat themselves up. We used to do it all the time when I was in that division. It's back.
So, even if you want to do this, take the Chargers out of 2.
Yep.
Move the Chiefs up to the AFC
2.
champion. Let's just say they're 2, and you have a wild card spot open. You've got Pittsburgh. You've got Cincinnati. You've got the Chargers.
You got the Chargers.
Cleveland.
Yeah. You've got Cleveland. You've got Denver.
Yeah.
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
I'm just saying, let's just say Pittsburgh, Cincinnati,
Cleveland,
and Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and the Chargers.
Okay.
Let's go there. 3 teams for 1 spot.
Somebody's out.
Somebody is out. It's just the way it is.
Somebody's going to be out.
I don't hate it. I don't agree with it 100%, but I don't hate it because, again, we are going to be shocked that there's going to be maybe the Ravens don't make it. Maybe Cincinnati wins the division, and the Ravens don't make it.
Yeah.
Again, you're going to have a really good football team. A football team that might be able to be the top seed in the NFC, perhaps fall out of the AFC playoff picture. It's just going to happen.
100%. And because of this, I don't like picking the same thing. Everybody's trying to pick the same thing. You look at the NFC, instantly people are like, okay, cool. It's the Eagles, it's the 49ers. You look at the AFC, all right, cool. It's going to be the Chiefs, and it's going to be Joe Burrow. I'm like, man, let me look at some of these schedules. Let me see where they were last year. How were these games played last year? Who lost what coordinator? Who gained what coordinator? So this is what I have. And now we can get into some conference championships.
We will do that next, okay? But first, let me tell you about the Lions pregame show. The Woodward Sports Live pregame show returns for another season of Lions football. Join Jeff Iafrady with weekly special guest hosts on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Premieres tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Then throughout the year, Sunday mornings, 9:30 to 11:30. Lions pregame all season long right here on Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Braylon's conference champions and Braylon's Super Bowl champion. We'll do that next. But first, message from Big Boy.
All right, you know Strawberry Fest is history, but it's Hamburger Fest right now. The burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. It's burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or the new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. That sounds outstanding right about now. Craving chicken? How about the Dolly chicken sandwich? Or turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade your regular fries with the chili cheese fries or the loaded baked potato fries and save room for dessert. They got a treat for you. It is the Reese's Chocolate Peanut Butter Thunder Cake. That's a big cake. Or satisfy your sweet tooth with the funnel cake fries. All that, plus you can order a Big Boy at Big Boy.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
At the Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house with a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Also could be used for 7-on-7 football K-8 that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, free breakfast and lunch, academic games, and K-8 athletics. Get yourself involved at the Academy of Warren as they are now accepting new enrollment, so go to the academyofwarren.net. That website again, academyofwarren.net.
All right, the moment of truth. Braylon Edwards, AFC Championship, NFC Championship, and Super Bowl picks.
What do you want first?
Oh, what? Don't ask me. I think we go AFC first.
Yeah, so that's why I switched AFC. AFC first. Here it is.
Oh, wow.
It's the Baltimore Ravens over the New York Jets in remembrance of the opening night 2010. No, I think Baltimore Ravens, I'm telling you, I'm all in on what the Ravens are going to do this year. But the Jets, man, it has that feel, man. It has like that feel like 2009, 2010, where the Jets get in as a wild card, make it to the AFC Championship game, and they just fall just a little short. So I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. He finally paid that man and got him some weapons.
Can I just say that the Baltimore Ravens might be the most intriguing NFL team for me this year.
They have to be.
Because, again, last year it just felt like everything was going to be against them. They didn't pay Lamar. The thing was like a crap show from start to finish.
It still made the playoffs.
Injuries were I don't know. Something tells me that Baltimore is primed for a comeback season this year. Maz, do you like the Ravens this year at all, or are they on the outs?
I think they're on the outs, personally. I got them making the playoffs, but I just don't think they have I don't think they get by the Bengals. I mean, they almost beat them last year. They almost beat them. They didn't. Yes.
With
Tyler
Jackson.
Huntley. I know. I get it.
I'm still out
I know. I'm not going to count him out completely, but I'm still a Bengals guy here.
And that division might be the toughest in football, top to bottom.
It's up there, man.
I mean, you talk about the Steelers.
AFC East, NFC East, AFC North.
But I'd even put this team, this division, the AFC North. I mean, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Browns, and the Steelers.
I'll take the Dolphins, the Bills, the Jets, and the Patriots.
I think those three teams. Yeah, I just don't know about New England this year.
I'll take the Giants, the Redskins, the Eagles, and the
Commanders,
and the Cowboys.
Commanders.
Exactly. I'll take those four too. Those are three tough divisions.
Very good.
They're the Commanders, man.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Listen, man, don't get us in trouble.
Here we go.
Just a team name.
The NFC, please.
Oh,
come on!
Oh, I don't like the way you did this.
Hey, man. Listen
that
here.
was sick and wrong.
Listen here.
Sick and
the Detroit.
wrong.
Listen. First of all, I got the Detroit Lions winning the NFC North.
Okay.
I got the Detroit Lions winning 13 games, and I got to make it to the NFC Championship. Jeez Louise.
I think that's great, but you could have done put the graphic the opposite
Excuse me,
way.
sir. Did I make the graphic?
No, Parker did it wrong.
Thank you. I didn't make the graphic.
Parker screwed us.
Blame the guy.
Parker screwed
I wasn't
us.
blaming
So
you.
who's winning this game?
This is the
Is this Eagles
the
greater
Eagles.
than Lions?
Yes.
Less than Eagles?
The way this is written is Lions less than Eagles.
Exactly.
So Eagles over Lions?
In the Super Bowl.
Why y'all looking at me?
Who's winning this
the
game?
Eagles.
The Eagles are winning?
The Eagles.
Okay, so he has it right.
Eagles and
Jets
in the Eagles and Ravens in the Super Bowl.
And the Ravens. So here you go. Super Bowl picks.
Let me guess.
Hold on.
What?
Before we get the winner. Hold on, Parker. Before we get the winner, let me tell you that the Woodward Sports Live pregame show returns. Oh, wait, no. Let me tell you about the Rivals show. That's right. Nothing says the rivalry quite like Michigan and Michigan State. Flannel Sam, Spencer Raxter go head-to-head every Friday night starting September 1st, 10 to 11 p.m. Breakdowns of the Wolverines and Spartans, previews of their matchup. Flannel Sam, Spenny, tune in to Woodward Sports YouTube channel Friday nights, 10 to 11 p.m.
Whoa,
All right, Bray.
I was going to go ask for here's the Super Bowl. If the Ravens
there it is
beating the Eagles.
Ooh, poor Eagles.
Can you imagine that'd be exciting Super Bowl? Lamar Jackson versus Jalen Hurts.
Telling you.
That's an ugly uniform matchup.
Battle of the Birds.
That is not a good uniform matchup.
I disagree.
Purple and black versus green and black.
I disagree. They both have a lot of different variations of their uniforms. It'd be great. I think it'd be great.
It is different.
You're betting on Lamar Jackson this year.
Betting on Lamar Jackson. I'm betting on Lamar Jackson. I'm with Lamar Jackson all the way. I think he's done a lot in that city to try to prove that he wanted. Whether it was gain weight last year so that he can take the blunt of the hits, whether it was be there in all the offseason, whether it was play through, not being on a contract. Like, he has stood up for Baltimore each year he's been there, and he's given all that he had. But now they've given him his money. They've given him his weapons. They drafted Zay Flowers, who looks incredible in training camp, who looked incredible in OTAs. So I'm betting on him, man. I'm betting on him. And dang, it just sucks that Jalen Hurts is going to finish runner-up 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I mean, and then as who says this? Are they becoming the new Bills? That's from Python Knight.
Ooh.
The Eagles becoming the new Bills.
Hey, man, is this a real game? Like, is this a real game tonight?
Yeah, it's a real game.
Scherzer versus Verlander?
Yeah.
Rangers versus Astros?
Yep.
Cy Young 3 versus Cy Young 3?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Isn't that something?
I haven't tuned into the baseball game in a while. I think I might have to turn that one on.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Two guys that really dig each other.
You like the Ravens, Mavs, in the Super Bowl?
No, he does not.
Sure. I like the Ravens. Sure, that sounds great.
You can say no. It doesn't hurt
No,
my
I
feelings.
like what you're going. That's a tough AFC. Like you said, there could be 5 other teams that could be on that graphic. That's how tight that AFC is.
It's a tough NFL.
Guys, sorry.
No, you're good.
I was going to say Ari Meirov tweeted that the Chiefs have listed tight end Travis Kelce as
doubtful.
Questionable.
Okay.
For tomorrow night
He's
versus
playing
the
in
Chiefs.
the game.
So he's been upgraded.
He just won't be he won't be the exact same, but he'll be playing.
I'll start him still if he's on my fantasy team.
Because you know what?
If he's playing, I'm starting him.
And you know if he's
I'm
playing,
starting
you know
Sky
what he's
Moore,
doing?
I'll tell you that.
If he's playing, you know
2-yard runs in the end zone.
Red zone.
Yep.
Red zone.
I'm playing Sky Moore. I'm telling you, he's on my bench right now. I'm about to start.
Oh, we've got more breaking news in the NFL. You ready for this? According to Adam Schefter, the San Francisco 49ers and Nick Bosa have agreed on a 5-year, $170 million extension.
Told you get paid.
$122.5 million guaranteed. By a wide margin, he becomes the highest paid defensive player in the history of the NFL.
You have to win when you can win. And when you're the 49ers and you see what the Seahawks is doing and you're not sure about your quarterback, and so, you're like, hey, I don't know if Brock's going to be what he was last year. What's the quarterback situation going to be like? You got to have all your bullets in the gun. And he's the number 1 bullet in the gun for them. They got him paid on the outside. I knew this deal was going to get done when I found out how far apart they were. I was like, yeah, they're going to do it. So they're smart, because why give up a game to Pittsburgh when you don't have to?
Joe Burrow expected to play in the opener as well. So much for waiting until Game 5. It is locked and loaded. The NFL season, my friends, is fast and furious. It is coming. Jackson Smith and Jigba, we thought he was going to be out for a couple of weeks. He's going to play the opener now against the Rams.
Joe Burrow is getting paid, too, this week.
Yes.
He will become the highest paid quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Player.
He probably player.
No doubt.
People realize, like Ryan, Maz, it's no time to wait. Like, I don't have, now with the NFL being as good as it is, especially if I'm an AFC team, I don't have 4 weeks to rest Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow said his calf is good. Joe, how's your calf? Like, you sure you can go? All right, well, you're in there. We can't wait. We cannot sign Nick Bosa. We cannot sign. Well, it seems like Kansas City's the only ones that didn't get the memo. But you got to have your guys, man. You got to have bullets in the gun.
I think I would sit Joe Burrow if I were the Bengals.
You can't waste any games, man. You can't waste any games. If he's ready to play, he's going to practice in full today.
I know. It's a calf, man. How hard is it for a calf? How quick can a calf go again?
It just depends on how bad your calf is. You saw Aaron. When Aaron had his bad calf, he was
limping around the whole year.
He was limping around the whole year to the end. Parker did some great graphics for something last week, and I wanted to get that in the last segment before the show ended.
We'll do it next, but first a message from Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience a Fairway difference for yourself today. Might as well go get some steaks. Throw them on the grill ahead of tomorrow night's Lions game. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. If you can't visit them in person, you can always order online. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com.
Source, aged, prime, cut, packed to perfection.
Are you a diehard college football fan? Well, it's your lucky day. Join special WSN guests like Spencer Raxter, Flannel Sam, and more every Saturday. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Saturdays and tune in live from 8:30 to 10 a.m.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, gang, what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. They're located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And, of course, looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac? Check them out in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue, where they have been for over 50 years. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
Yo, welcome back to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Last segment of the day. It's your boy Be Easy taking over the show just for some fun. We're going to have some fun. So last week I asked you guys, who was it? Was it Equalizer or was it John Wick? And so, me and my boy Parker said, let's have some fun with it. Let's do the tale of the tape.
Love it.
So we'll do a couple of these, man. We don't just have one. We had some fun with it. I threw him some, and he had a lot more fun than I did. So tell of the tape right now. This is McCall versus Wick. Hold on. Why is Wick 6'7"?
Keanu Reeves is. Oh, I meant to do 5'7". My bad. But that he's supposed to be
6'7".
He's supposed to be 5'7".
I was like, damn,
that's
Kobe?
on me.
All right, so hold on. How does
Denzel Washington is 6'1" though.
No, how does he only have 28 KOs and John Wick has 469?
Throughout the movies, he's only shown to have 28 kills, 28 main kills.
In the first one alone, he single-handedly destroys a Ukrainian operation in New York, and oh, by the way, flies to Ukraine at the end and kills everybody in the house, including the mobsters.
Did he meet with Vladimir
Putin?
No. The other guy.
Listen, I got the numbers online.
Hey, man, this is
Google Live.
The cap. This is cap. I'm putting cap on. This is cap. All right, go to the next one. Tell of the tape. Who do we got here, right? You got to think who's going to win.
Zelensky, that's who I'm thinking of.
We're going Wallace versus Rodman.
All right, Wallace versus Rodman. Who's winning this fight? Who's winning this fight?
Ben Wallace.
You got Ben Wallace?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I ain't messing with Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, man.
Come on, man.
Ben Wallace is country strong, though.
Dennis is quick.
It's really about who's flannel proof. That's my only thing.
But Rodman to do anything to get the L. I mean, get the W.
Right.
I'm going Dennis Rodman.
He's gonna be a cheap shot artist.
I'm going Dennis Rodman. What you going, JB?
Oh, this is Ben. Come on.
You going Ben?
Yeah.
I feel Rodman might be up to something. Like Rodman might have like a shank. You know what I'm saying? Pull a shank out.
He hits and runs.
Exactly.
But
See,
Ben's going to clock him,
Achilles.
and that's going to be the end of it.
Might clip your Achilles, man. All right, who's next?
Jason Voorhees versus Michael.
Oh, this is easy. I'll go last.
Oh, I'm going Jason.
You going Jason?
Yeah.
What do you got, JB?
It's Jason. Come on.
Jason. You guys, you make me sick. Who you got, Maz?
I can't even see who the hell he's fighting.
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers.
Thank you.
Michael Myers.
It's Mike Myers.
Halloween,
Listen,
baby.
3 against 2. It is Michael Myers. And I'm gonna tell you like this: one, neither does Jason, but Jason comes back in all type of weird form. I'm gonna tell you
that's right.
When he came down with the one-arm chin-up in Halloween Resurrection 20 with LL Cool J, he won my respect. I'm going Michael Myers. Plus, he got the better theme song. Who's next?
Campbell versus Sala.
Ooh.
Oh, Campbell all day. All day.
Have you seen Sala?
Yeah.
Have you seen Sala?
Robert Sala's jacked.
Have you seen Dan
jacked.
Campbell?
Yes.
He's biting kneecaps.
Robert Sala's he's from here. You know, you talk about that Detroit love. He's from here.
What about that Dan Campbell Detroit
Dan
love?
Campbell 6'5" with grit. He's 6'5" with grit.
I got DC.
I got Dan Campbell
DC.
all day.
That's my coach.
DC.
That's my coach.
All right, I'll go Robert Sala since I'm a Jet. You know what I'm saying? I got to show love. In case they see this, I had to have said Robert Sala got to support the Jets. Plus, they got me tickets for Monday night. I appreciate that. Let's go to the next one.
And with our main card.
Oh, this is the main card, baby.
Hutchinson versus Bosa.
Yeah.
This is what the people came to see. This is WrestleMania 3 incarnate.
Right now.
Yeah.
Nick Bosa.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Yeah, it's Bosa.
Nobody's going with Aiden Hutchinson.
Not now.
I can't even take
Talk to me in 3 years, maybe. But
I want to see him buff
Hutchinson
up a
got
little.
size on him though.
I'm gonna tell you like this: When I saw his response to the Michigan-Ohio State game last
There it
year,
is.
I knew I was choosing
There it
Nick
is.
Bosa. I knew I was choosing Nick Bosa. Hutch is bigger, though, which is crazy. Nick's a big boy, but I'm going Hutch. But guess what? Like you said, give Hutch 2 years. We're going to see.
I am.
We're going to revisit this in 2 years.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean...
Plus, Nick has an unfair advantage because his crazy brother jumped in. Joey don't have them all.
Right.
Joey Bosa don't have them all. So I'm going Nick.
I think he's too short of a six-pack.
Drinking the 6-pack is more like it. But I got them jumping 800. So a little fun with tail of the tape,
I
man.
love it.
We might do this more often.
Love it. Maz, you got any wise words at the end of the show here?
I got another football thing to throw out at you.
Oh,
what do you have?
Just
there,
a couple
man?
things that I had on here for a while. Joe Douglas of the Jets. He's the general manager of the New York Jets.
I think I heard that guy's name before.
Did you know that this guy just dreams of Aaron Rodgers on a daily basis? Ryan, you can read that for me.
So Joe Douglas reveals that there are 5 to 6 times a day where he sits in his office in disbelief that the Jets have Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback. He says that Aaron Rodgers has shown no signs of slowing down and the team isn't hiding or running from their lofty expectations this season.
Isn't that something?
I love it.
That's a general manager
talking. That's what it's
talking.
all about.
It sounds like Mike Tannenbaum and Rex Ryan about Darrelle Revis.
There you go.
Darrelle Revis was holding out in 2010. Do you know what Rex Ryan suggested? And it was the dumbest thing I had ever heard, and they were dead serious. He was going to fly the whole team. This is during training camp. Revis was holding out. Fly the whole team down to Fort Lauderdale to where he was at, charter a bus to drive us to his house, and then knock on the door and say, "Hey, Darrelle, we're here. Can we get you signed?" I was like, that boy got a different type of love and respect up here. Jesus Christ.
Guys, Woodward Sports has expanded its daily lineup. Booner and Broder pair up for Woodward nights tonight and every night from 8 to 10. Two of Detroit's up-and-coming sports personalities, hottest takes, best entertainment. Join them Monday through Friday from 8 to 10. Booner and Broder. Catch them on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel. You know, it's interesting. Joe Douglas sounds like a general manager who believes he's built a really good team and knows that no matter how good of a team you build, if you don't have a quarterback, it means absolutely nothing. That's what that says to me.
Facts.
And now that you got a quarterback, you got one of the best in the game, in the game's history.
I missed Hard Knocks last night, the final of the Jets Hard Knocks. I started losing interest in it last week.
I lost.
I started losing interest last week. It's the same thing that happened almost with the Lions. You know, I started getting fatigued a little.
Yeah.
And I'll watch it tonight. I'll probably skip through it if I'm a little
I stopped
bored.
watching it after I saw Braylon Edwards, and then I was good.
So I was gonna say the funny story is I didn't even watch that episode. I just had people tell me, but I still haven't watched it.
Like how 17? How 17 look?
Hey man, what up,
Hey,
though?
man,
You know what time it is? He's
Aaron.
special.
Hey, Aaron, how's 17?
Oh, that's how I talk. What type of BS?
Hey, Aaron, how's 17 look?
Man, that's cap.
Hey, Carl
That's
Nassib
Aaron.
retired too. The first openly gay player in the NFL. Played for the Raiders. Carl Nassib has called it a career. Said it was awesome.
He retired after
he's
that.
glad he did what he did, and he moves on to bigger and better things.
It's awesome.
He retired after that the John Gruden thing. 'Cause I haven't seen him in the game since.
You're right.
100%.
You're right.
The last thing I'll say about the Sean Payton deal, maybe Russ needed that. Maybe Russ is one of those individuals, because I saw him early on in his career, so I can't comment about the last 10 years or so, but maybe he just feels like he has to do all that. I got to go kiss the baby. I have to go to Children's Hospital for this event. I got to go do this for the brand. I got to go buy Sierra's Masters and do all that. Maybe he needed somebody to tell him, look, man, sit your ass down and focus on football.
No doubt.
That might be what he needed.
No doubt. All right, Bray, get us out of here, my friends.
Yo, it is less than 2 days away. We are, like Ryan and Ermanni said, 28 and a half hours, give or take, so to the big game. So tomorrow, man, the last day, coming here, Edwards and Ermanni with Maz. We will give you the pregame special. But Woodward Sports got the pregame show for you and the live stream. So just stick with us. We are the right network for the job. For my man Maz, Parker, JB over there, my brother from another mother.
Hit that like button.
Hit that like
250.
button.
Need 7 more.
Oh, you got
7
it.
more. We appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow.